It's not exactly a great time to be a Wii owner right now. Quality releases have been dwindling, and people seem more concerned with Nintendo's next system than Wii. But hey, there's finally some good news on the horizon. Conduit 2 is here. The sequel to a Wii exclusive shooter that came out nearly 2 years ago, Conduit 2 is a solid addition to the Wii library. While not the most innovative game out there, High Voltage's latest game is still a satisfying shooter experience. Conduit 2 picks up right where the last game left off. The power-hungry John Adams, yes, his name actually is John Adams, is out to exploit an alien race, and it's up to Michael Ford to stop him. And yeah, that's about it. A couple twists aside, the story is pretty generic and dull. A quirky sense of humor does inject some life into the situation, but I found it hard to care about any of the characters.
Hurry, Michael. Go through the conduit before this place explodes.
But while the story isn't quite there, the High Voltage team did excel in one area: graphics. Conduit 2 is a beauty. The game is full of great texture work, and some of the levels are truly stunning. It should be noted though that the frame rate does take a dip when things get hectic. Thankfully, the multiplayer modes don't suffer as much from this problem.
Headshot.
Control was one of the major strengths of the first game, and that tradition carries over to the sequel. High Voltage has included a ridiculous amount of options to customize your controls. Everything from tinkering with turning speed to the way the game reacts to reticule movement. Spending some time with the options will help you greatly. You can tweak it until it feels natural to you. Conduit 2 is action-packed and entertaining. Unfortunately, the experience as a whole feels a little repetitive and generic. That's not so good considering the game is only 5 hours long. The vast majority of the game is spent shooting, hitting switches, and then running off to a new area. Sure, this is standard fare for most shooters, but that doesn't make it any less bland. The general mission design just isn't anything special. On the positive side, you're able to customize your character across single and multiplayer modes, both in visual design and ability. Currency to unlock these options is earned by playing the game solo and online, adding a great deal of replay value to the package. Speaking of multiplayer, the online experience is also solid. Much like the single-player campaign, multi doesn't reinvent the wheel in any way. My time with multiplayer was addicting, and it's definitely one of the strong points in the game. It's just not all that innovative. Conduit 2 is a well-made shooter that plays and looks great. However, the game also suffers from a generic story, generic characters, and repetitive gameplay. If all you want to do is pick up a game and blast enemies, then this will fit the bill nicely. Just don't go in expecting a genre-defining game here. For more on Conduit 2, head over to IGN.com.